Welcome, everybody, to this very, very special episode of the Not Another Yoga Class podcast and LinkedIn live series. Today, we've got my mate as a guest, my friend Arber. This is actually the second time we've recorded this episode. We recorded it about 3 months ago, and we had some pretty bad audio issues that we couldn't figure out. So this is a treat because I get to talk to you all over again, mate. So if you'd like to introduce yourself a little bit, Arber, tell us what it is you're doing and who you are. And then we'll crack on and we'll talk about the subject of autism, which is going to be what we're going to be chatting about today. So, Arber, please introduce yourself, mate.
Yeah, so my name's Arber. I'm 20 years old. I'm doing a BTEC at the moment. I'm almost finished with my studies on everything. I do post on LinkedIn as well. I talk about autism, other topics as well. I'm going to be doing an apprenticeship at HSBC soon, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I'm just here to genuinely make an impact and to really spread lots of positivity to the world, I would say. So I would say that that's mainly about me, I would say.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that intro, mate. A lot of people will know you on LinkedIn because you're extremely popular, far more popular than me. And the reason for that is that you love to spread
Oh
positivity
yeah.
and joy on the platform. And that's great.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, can you
All good.
repeat that again? Sorry.
No problem, mate. So what I was saying was, a lot of people will know you from LinkedIn because you spread so much joy and so much positivity, and that makes a lot of us very, very happy to see you kind of popping up in our comments or see some of the things that you post. And it's great to advocate towards certain things, especially neurodiversity. And one of the things that helped me massively when I was getting diagnosed with ADHD and when I was dealing with ADHD was learning more about it because I knew nothing. And so, what I wanted to do was bring you on, Arbor, to be able to talk about autism a little bit and talk a little bit about your experiences with autism. So, could you tell us maybe I like to start positive? Can you tell me some of the great things that have come from your autism?
I would say the great things that came from my autism was like my ability to spread lots of love and joy because again I can actually type quite fast, I've realized, because I pretty much
Yeah.
analyzed all of the keyboards and everything. So I feel like that's definitely been quite a benefit. And we also tend to be quite analytical as well. I've realized that's definitely something that's been quite good as well. And I've also noticed I do tend to really make a routine for myself that really works for me, and I can really be quite adaptable to lots of situations if given the time as well. It's just it takes a bit of time, but once I really get into that whole routine and situation, it just really becomes easier for me. And I also tend to be quite creative as well in my thinking and how to find lots of solutions as well for people, because I really do try and go out of my way to really try and find solutions. So I would say those are definitely the good things that came out of my autism, I would say.
Brilliant. That's great to hear. And there's lots of things from my ADHD that I would say are really, really good. The fact that I can think at like 10 times the speed of anyone else is awesome, and it's really helpful for certain projects. But there are things that I struggle with as well. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that you've struggled with that probably stemmed from autism. So could you kind of discuss those with us a little bit? And bring some awareness to some of those things.
Yeah, I would say the struggles are mostly definitely the social communication aspects because definitely because I notice a lot of neurotypical people, as people like to say it, they do like to like make lots of sarcasm, jokes, and some people talk a lot, some people don't, and it becomes quite hard to really identify like what's the best way to talk, how to talk to some people, how to maintain a conversation as well, how to maintain eye contact, stuff like that. And it's always just been like a really struggle to really try and genuinely just really consider those things because again in the workplace environment you are people socialize with each other all the time, and and people do that on a daily, but for autistic people that's a huge struggle because again we're our brains are not designed to really like handle lots of communication all the time. So it's like it's like a bit of a struggle, I would say, definitely to do that. I would say the next thing is definitely lots of sensory issues as well. So definitely like, you know, loud noises, for example, really bright lights will like really hurt my eyes a lot. Definitely like certain textures as well. Even yeah, definitely lots of sensory issues is definitely quite a struggle. Even like really crowded places can be quite overwhelming for us as well, if there's lots of people and everything. And I would say genuinely the third yeah, I would say generally the third thing is the routine as well, because again, like we're not really good with adapting with changes because our brains like because again it's a really, really wide world out there and because again we kind of have rely on a bit of a routine a bit to really help us out a lot as well. So I definitely feel like the routine is like definitely a struggle, especially that route is something it I would say changes a lot as well because again, as things are changing a lot in this world, again, there's that's a huge struggle for us because again we just it feels like we can't really find something that really works for us in the working world because things are just continuously changing. So I would
Yeah.
say those are definitely some of the struggles as well, and definitely picking up on social cues and like understanding subtle meanings and stuff like that as well. And like sometimes people aren't very direct with communication, which is definitely quite a struggle for us, I would say.
Okay. So there's the people going to be watching this are mainly going to be managers and employers. And I'm listening to all the things you said there, and I'm thinking with my manager hat on, and I'm thinking sensory things are very manageable to fix, right? So bright lights, loud noises. These are things that are relatively easy to organize to make it easier for you. Also, I think routine would probably be something that we could, as a manager, make a lot easier for you because we could make sure that tasks are broken down. You know what you're going to do each day. You have a plan for the future. The one thing there that kind of sat and thought that's going to be a bit of a challenge is the social element. It's
Yeah.
interacting with colleagues. So is there anything that you can think of if you were advising a manager or an employer that they could do, maybe to maybe tell other colleagues, or just talk about a way they work? I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. What do you think? Is there a way that they could make that easier, that social element?
Yeah, I mean, I think like how to make it easier for the social aspect is just really just like maybe just like ask questions as well because again and we're not really good at asking lots of questions to people because I know that like it would genuinely be both sides. But I think like if you just ask us questions, then we can really help to give you a lot of information that you may need as well. And I think like definitely like small groups will definitely help us to try and adapt better, and also like one-to-one conversations with with some people as well can definitely help. And I would just say like just be nice, be polite as well, just like don't judge us if we do something that looks a bit off-putting to you, or you might not be usually used to as well. Because again, those are just like those are just like autistic traits, and I think like if people just I think like it's just better to look past those things and just really just see the person what they're actually saying, and and just really get below that surface level. I would say like actually get to know us as an individual, see what we like, what we don't like, and really make sure to like actually adapt social communications in a way that works for us as autistic individuals as well. And just don't overwhelm us with too much information, I would say, because that's definitely been an issue, and that definitely doesn't seem to help out a lot at the end of the day as well. So I would just say like just make sure to ask questions, maybe like one-to-one conversations as well. That just don't
Yeah.
overwhelm us with too much information, and just be very clear. I would say just be very clear with how you want to with how you're communicating with us, what you want from us as well. If you have any plans, maybe be clear with that as well so that we understand. It's just really like clear communication and just like really getting to know us, I would say.
This is brilliant. This is all really good advice. One thing I've learned about ADHD is that every single person I met with ADHD has kind of a different kind of ADHD that sort of manifests in a different way. And someone said something really interesting to me once, who an autism coach. She said, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. And the point she was trying to make is that everyone experiences autism differently. And so I think that you've made an amazing point there, which is give us the opportunity to tell you what we need.
Yeah.
Allow us to have an open conversation. And do you think the best way to do that is through a one-on-one situation?
Yeah, I think definitely the best thing is like one-to-one conversations, I would definitely say, because like again, I feel like because again, like I feel like in a whole group setting, because there's so many opinions and everything just going out and around and so many
Yeah,
people wanted to talk, it just becomes a really overwhelming for us, I would say, and it's just not really something that's very pleasant. So I would say like definitely one-to-one conversations really do help us out. And I feel like that person could really get to know us and really understand us as an individual and what works for us, so then that they can actually be able to make the workplace more better for us as individuals, and they can tell the right people in order to make it better compared to like a group of like neurodiverse people, because again everyone's experiences are different, like not one person is the same. We may have similar struggles, but like at the end of the day we all have very different lives. We all grew up very differently as well, and I think it's important like for managers or people who work at these corporations to just understand that like we're all different and we all need support that's tailored to us as individuals as well, rather than just like making it very generic, making it very yeah, making it very generic at the end of the day. So I would say one-to-one conversations are very effective for neurodiverse people and autistic people, I would say.
brilliant, mate. Look, this has been a fantastic conversation, and I think you've really given some brilliant insights that managers and employees would be able to take on board. Um, I'm just a little bit curious before you go to hear a little bit about your apprenticeship that's coming up. Could you just tell us a little bit about that and what's going to happen?
Yeah, like, my apprenticeship is gonna be at HSBC. I'm gonna be working in the private banking sector. The whole
Wow.
assess Yeah, yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it myself when I found out I got the offer, so, I'm
I
still
can.
surprised
I
even
can
now
believe it.
because
I'm
I
not.
really didn't
I'm
expect
not
them to
surprised.
choose me, honestly, but I was genuinely a bit surprised because I thought that, like, I would have done something that would have that I thought, like, because of my neurodiversity a bit, they probably wouldn't have chosen me, but, I was genuinely quite surprised, but yeah, so it's gonna start in October, my apprenticeship. I think it's 4.5 years. I'm just waiting for more further information from them, and yeah, I'm pretty excited, I would say.
That's awesome. Now, listen, Arber, based on everything I know about you, the least surprising thing ever is that they chose you. You will be a massive asset to HSBC or any other company that you end up at. So don't be surprised, buddy. Don't be surprised at all. Look, thank you so much for helping me with this podcast. I really wanted to talk about autism a little bit more and learn a little bit more. And I knew you were the perfect person. You've given some fantastic insights, and I really appreciate you giving us some of your time today.
No worries. It's a pleasure as always, Jamie. Thank you for having this opportunity. And yeah, never forget just how incredible you guys are as well.
Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. Huh?
It's okay.